Okay, so I know this is one of those streams that I will get a ton of playback later, but not much interaction now. So just have to talk about this just a little hair of a bit. I haven't done a life in Costa Rica video in a long time, so this is a new one. Okay, so what's the deal with toilet paper? And why am I mentioning it? Why am I even talking about what goes on in the bathrooms in Costa Rica? It's reasons. As you will well know, hey, Celine. So this stuff can be problematic here. It can be extremely, extremely problematic. Do you like the little picture of my dog in my profile? I'll have to open that up and take a look. Yeah, how cute, I think. I can't see super well, but what little I can see, it looks like it's cute. Um, back to Costa Rica. One of the things that you're going to find the most shocking when you get off the plane here, and something that my guests have all struggled with, some of my family members have struggled with this, is this stuff. Okay. Toilet paper. You can't flush it here. You just cannot flush toilet paper here whatsoever. What plumbing we have here is just not adequate to this. Even if it's marked biodegradable, you still don't flush this stuff. There's no such thing here as city sanitation. So what you get is you have to have a drain field and a septic tank. And this stuff, I can tell you from when I was a child, is not septic tank friendly at all. So let me give you a couple of examples. We had somebody that came to visit us, and the first thing I told them, what I tell everybody when I pick them up at the airport. This is the last place in Costa Rica you will be able to flush your toilet paper because the airport has that ability. Nowhere else does. It's going to be few and far between. Now, my husband was in the hospital last week. They actually had signs saying that you could flush toilet paper there. So that's how common this is. So we had these friends come and they stayed. The first thing I said, last place you can flush your toilet paper, please don't flush it in our house. Can you guess what happened? They flushed it in our house and moved out after 2 days and said, "Oh, we're gonna go stay with so and so over there." Well, I found out after they left that it left the guest toilet completely destroyed, full of this stuff. And it led to one very expensive plumbing bill. Now, here in Asia and many places, you can't flush toilet paper because the septic system just cannot handle it. It's routine. I laughed a couple of weeks ago when I had my kids here for my husband's surgery because we stayed one night at the Hilton at what was the name of that place? It was one of the Hilton hotels there. The Gran, Gran. It was quite grand. It was quite lovely. And my daughter asked the lady at the front desk, "Can I flush toilet paper?" Because she asked me, and I said, "No, don't flush it. There is a trash can right next to the toilet. That's usually a good hint in Costa Rica that this stuff cannot be flushed. And 98% of the places you go, you can't flush this, maybe even 99." So she went up to the receptionist and said, "Hey, can I flush toilet paper here? Because I'm getting ready to go to the bathroom." And this being the Hilton, and everybody is trained with apparently American nicety, so don't argue with a rich gringo, just nod your head and go, "Yes, see." The lady nodded her head and said, "See, yes, you can flush your toilet paper here." And then she thought a minute and said, "But maybe you should." My daughter came back and told me that. I said, "That means you should not flush your toilet paper because you might break their septic system, particularly if you use a lot of it." And um, that is one of those things that's really hard to get used to in Costa Rica is having to flush your toilet paper, not have not having the ability to flush your toilet paper, I mean. Now, what I do find interesting too is this stuff, and I was worried about this because we lived in Germany all those years ago. You couldn't get soft, trust me, this stuff is velvety soft toilet paper. You could only get the rough stuff. I'm just gonna call it that. And it was white bleach, but it was rather difficult on your lady bits. Let's just say that in other bits. And I used to go to the PX, the commissary, and buy Charmin in order to be able to have soft toilet paper. Here, that's not a problem. Scott, Charmin, and other brands are Angel Soft. Are everywhere here. The autistic shill. Listing on the treadmill. Okay, love my grands. So this stuff can be bought anywhere here, soft enough. Sometimes too soft. Number one fan. Number one fan. Please remove the toilet paper from your bathroom. Guests can get a few sheets issued to them when they enter. That's a thought. That's very, very much a thought. Because we have had to call the plumber out here after having guests because they don't get it. And it's one thing to slip every now and then and throw a couple sheets down there. God knows I've done it a few times, particularly after coming back from like a month in the States where this stuff is going straight in the toilet. And then you come back here and like, whoopsie, I just flushed 2 sheets or 3 sheets or however many was of toilet paper. The system could handle the occasional accidental flush. It can't handle the big, fat, white ass American. I am going to use half the roll on my butt. Toilet paper flushes. We just cannot handle it here. So now you know more about bathroom habits here than you did before. That's my parents. Sally B. I used to have to use a clip and clip this and hang it from the shower curtain rod because at the time, my little stinky boy was a small kitten and he thought there was no greater fun than to sit there and just bat the roll and unroll it completely. Can't tell you the times that I walked into the bathroom and he had unrolled the toilet paper. Not just roll it right back on the wall and use it anyway because it is more expensive here than in the States. So I try to be sparse and cautious about my toilet paper. But I had to do that for ages with him. He finally outgrew it. He hasn't done it in a couple of years at least, so it can go back out there. The other thing that is really weird here is the fact that and this isn't so much a toilet paper thing as it is or a toileting thing as it is a grooming thing. Ticos here will use, I mean, buku, tons of cologne. And I don't quite get that because the amounts that they're using are sometimes offensive. You'll smell it and you'll start wheezing because it's so incredibly strong. Most of the time, not. Lorna, thought there was an issue getting to it. You understand. Septic tanks. And I think we have a decent septic tank drain field here because we're on a big lot, but not everybody has that luxury. And we always say about Tamarindo in rainy season, towards the end of rainy season, you could smell everybody's toilet. The closer to the beach they are, the more you could smell their septic tanks. And which should be a warning that maybe we shouldn't be having places right on the beach like that because it might stress the ecosystem out. It's just one of those things. And I always tell people moving here, don't worry, you can get your Charmin, you'll be able to get your palm olive to wash your hands with or whatever else. You can even get your organic stuff. Household products can be easily obtained here, very easily obtained. And most places, it's not quite like that. When I lived in Europe, it wasn't quite like that. I couldn't get soft toilet paper except at the commissary. But here very, very different. Latin Americans like their comfort just as much as everybody else. So, if you looked on my information on this live stream, I have a fundraiser GoFundMe put down for both Rennell and Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime. Both of them are facing some spurious charges from someone that they're having to fight legally. And all of us are asking people to consider donating to them. So I'm just going to say that I haven't promoted a GoFundMe or any kind of charitable thing because I got very burned out on that at NLQ. I was constantly being asked to provide, the platform to be able to raise money for this or that thing. And after a while, it just got to be quite a bit more. So I'm posting that as well. There's a lot going on in the community right now that's not so good. Renelle Smith is dealing with nonsense on the web who's giving her a hard time. There's so much fighting back and forth that I can't even keep up. I'm gonna have to draw out a chart and write it all out. But there you go. So that's why I'm talking about that on top of toilet paper because it kind of does remind me of it. And the only thing that I miss here is this. These are Kleenex South America. They are not anywhere near as soft as Kleenex in the States. So whenever I happen to be in a Walmart subsidiary and I see, oh, what is the Walmart brand? I'm blanket on that right now. The Walmart brand, snatch it up because it's the closest thing you're going to get to actual American tissues, which are a lot softer. Sometimes I actually go to this because it's softer. Get a hose and tell people you have a bidet. Especially Sally thinking about getting one of those, having one built, expanding my bathroom and having a bidet and a bathtub put in. Once you experience a bidet, it's like, how on earth live all these years without knowing that this is a thing? This is the best thing you could ever do. I swear. So I still have my building plans on for here that I want to do. I want to put in a sunroom and a larger bathroom. And whether that gets done or not, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, you guys, do you have anything you want to talk about? I mean, even um, about the fundraiser or anything else going on in the community? Besides the whole ridiculous thing where someone is claiming that they're a journalist and that the court called them a journalist when the court clearly did not call them a journalist. And I'm kind of surprised by that because Minnesota's laws on what actually is a journalist and what isn't a journalist, they're very slim. I mean, as in pretty much anybody that writes online qualifies for Minnesota's version of what makes a journalist and what doesn't make a journalist. And to claim that they're a journalist when they aren't is just ridiculous. Yeah. She is not worth our typing out. Exactly. So I still laugh over the journalism thing, and I'm going to debunk it yet again. When we both worked at Pathos asked us all to rebrand ourselves. Apparently, BeliefNet, who is the ultimate owner of Pathos, you'll say the names. Good for you, autistic. I don't want that kind of hassle right now. I'm out of the loop on what's going on with Rennell. Rennell has gotten, I don't know if it's a cease and desist or a TRO from a troublemaker in the community. I'm just going to say that. And well, someone who's problematic, let's just put it that way. I'm not even gonna call them a troublemaker because I don't know if they're a troublemaker or not. They're just problematic. I grew up with a septic and never had issues. Dad put an enzyme in the toilet once a month after we all went to bed, and we always had lots of people. I use that same enzyme here. That reminds me, I gotta add it to my list of things to do today because that's something I need to get. Yeah, I got a list, old school style. Okay, it's on my list. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the journalism thing because when I worked for Pathos, after we'd been bought by Belief Net, they ordered all of us to rebrand, rebrand as something else. Columnist, daily columnist, opinion writer, something like that. Something that implies writing that's more dignified than blogger, which is what we were all using at the time. And ethics. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I may order a copy of that myself because that's the nice thing about Amazon. I can get just about anything here. So they ordered us to do that, and somebody said, "Oh, you mean I can call myself a journalist or a reporter?" And I just was like, "Girl, please," and just rolled my eyes and very sarcastically said, "Whatever." And this person took me serious. And then they rebranded themselves as a journalist while I was kind of snickering behind my hand. Great value. Yes, I could not never remember great value. So great value facial tissue is not as soft as regular Kleenex I was buying, but it's darn close, I think. And it's better than Kleenex South America's. Kleenex South America is a little bit rougher. And as I have a lot of crazy problems with allergies, I am always blowing my nose. And there are days I end up looking like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I've taken all the skin off my nose, all of it with that. And it can be a bit ridiculous. And heaven forfend I get a cold and turn the house into a field of tissues everywhere. Oh, so I am starting to pick up and do things again after everybody has gone home and dealing with my own health issues. My husband's healing well. Thank you guys for standing with me, those of you that have, and your well wishes over my husband's situation. He feels a lot better. I think they did him a solid at the hospital. Love you guys. I'm going to be back tomorrow with my usual content on Quiverful, on non-denominational high demand religious groups for Taco Tuesday. This is just one of those little things. I'm starting to think about doing more and more videos on how to survive Costa Rica. Because you can not only survive here, you can thrive. You can thrive. But the thing that trips everybody up is culture. And if you don't at least get a feel for the culture you're part of and the culture there is here, and you find a way to live with both sides, you get really screwed up. Okay, you guys, I'm finally going to go. Love you guys. Have a wonderful Monday. I know those are it's an oxymoron, but there it is.